All right, so this is part 2. I came down to the workshop where I can have my camera held up for me by my tripod. So we use the Smooth On Umu 25 silicone rubber molding kit, parts A and parts B, and so we're going to start taking them out of the molds. So this could be a long process. So anyone who's impatient and doesn't want to watch a long live, do you, man? Because I've got things to do and I am trying to share as I am learning. This is my first time. So this was the first mold. I'm going to get it out of the cup, and more than likely I'm going to have to slice the mold a little bit to get the stone back out. So, as my 5-year-old granddaughter would say, let's get on with this, Graham. Actually, I think she likes to say, let's get started. Okay, so it's coming out of the cup easily. This was a number 6 cup that I got from the dollar store. And as you can see, this is a nice pliable. It's not going to come out until I start splitting it apart. So let's hope for the best that I don't have to tear this apart to get my crystal back. So this is a brand new knife. And I never did this before. I've only watched videos of it being done. And you know, there's a lot of little spaces in these crystals. I don't know how this is going to work out. Okay, so I got a little bit open there. Didn't use any mold release on this. I don't want to tear it. And I don't know how far to go with it because I'm new at this. Absolutely no videos on doing crystal clusters. Okay. I hope I don't ruin it. I waited a long time to make these. Really long time. And I could see some of the silicone is sticking to the clusters, which is really going to suck. So I don't know how to get them off. So I'm going to try to pull it out. I can see this is going to be a definite experience here because there's so many gaps in these crystals that I probably should have used mold release on them. Really positive of that. This could be a complete fail. See, the silicone has gone into the really into the creases pretty good. I have to take it out of camera view for a minute so I could sit it down and try to slice it. There's no way I can hold it up in the air and do that too. Come on, baby. It's still got some silicone stuck inside between the... Boy, I hope I didn't ruin my crystals doing this. Really looks like I did. How in the world would you melt silicone off your crystals after doing this, right? So I have to come back down to the desk again to slice some of this out between the crystal clusters. So as you could see, it is stuck in between the clusters. And so far, this looks like crap. Excuse me. I'm gonna bring it down to the desk again. I'm trying to slice on each side to release the silicone, hoping it's gonna hold its shape. But I see tearing happening. This looks like a mess in here. I don't see this one coming out very good. You know, it's not like it's just a smooth surface. This is a... Oh, I used a lot of my clusters trying to do this. These ones were ones that I picked off the mountain over in Carbon County, Pennsylvania. And I'm sorry I have to be off camera, but there's no way I can hold this up in the air and not cut myself with this razor blade. So it's out. So this is what the cluster looks like. A lot of silicone stuck to it. And there was a couple air bubbles in there that I could see. I could see a couple bubbles in there. So when I do remolding, I will mold it. Put a rubber band around this to hold it together. And I'll pour it and cast it and see what it comes out like. But you could see that a lot of the silicone has stuck to my crystals. It's going to take me a while to work on these. I don't know if, I don't know if there's a way to melt the silicone once it's on something like that. And sad to say, I used some of my best crystals to do this. So I could be sitting, I'm sure if I took a metal wire brush for a little while or had a grinding wheel with a metal brush on it, I could get most of that out. But that was what the first crystal was. And I really don't think it's going to look very good once I do that mold. So we got that one out. I'm now dreading getting the other ones out because they were nice crystals too. All right, let's try this little one here. The next one was a piece of a geode that I could not mold the geode for fear of what just happened to the other one. So I took it outside, put it in a thick towel with a sledgehammer, and I broke the geode because I love the little juicy designs on it. And this was baking paper that I had this sitting on. So I really hope that this will come off. I see a lot of the original mud and sand in the bottom of these crystals. And I see that it looks like it's sticking, but some of it's coming off. I might have better luck this one. Just trying to go around in circles and just take a little bit off at a time. Trial and error. That's all we can do when we don't know. There were no videos on how to do these. Okay, so you see some of it stuck in some places. Again, I'll have to, some of this, I don't know if I could clean that with maybe a toothbrush. Some of the sandstone and sand is stuck inside. And I did clean them, but these were the ones that I smashed with the sledgehammer. So if you look inside there, you could see that it's, when I remold it, it's probably going to sparkle. The first one with the resin's probably going to pull out any sand that's left in there. But this is what I'm looking for, and that makes me happy. So I like this, how this one came out. So I'll have to use my brushes and see if I can clean the silicone that stuck to that. So this one here was one of my amethysts. Oh, baby. So I'm just going to go around and just kind of try to start it along the edge. You see it's starting to lift here already, which is good news. It's making me happy already. That first one had me worried. So all my sides are lifting nicely. And here we go. Let's see what we got. Gently pulling it off. Gently pulling it off, and voila. I'm going to say this was a success. And see, one time I glued a gem there. And there's the gem with all the detail. So I'm saying that this one, the amethyst, came out nicely. And because this is so smooth, the crystals are so smooth that the silicone didn't stick to that because it's such a smooth surface. So that one was a success. These other ones, they're not so smooth. There's a lot of sand in them. So we did 3 now. Here's another part of the geode, the druzy. So we're just going to work the edges again. Sorry if there's anyone commenting. I'm not seeing them. I am kind of busy tonight. I'm not looking. Come on, baby. Come to mama. This one's sticking a little bit. It's coming off of the druzies. Oh, baby. That's coming off nice. If you could see that, that came off nice. Just a little bit sticking here. This one, I did a second coat. That might be the first coat that's sticking on that edge there. Yeah. Learning as we go. Yeah, that's sticking on that side. Have to pull it a little. So this goes down. That's why it's sticking. See if I can release that edge. If you see, this goes down in a hole, in like a little crevice. That's why we're having a problem with this one. I don't know if you could see that. It's at its lowest point right here. It's stuck in the hole. Most of it's off. Let's see if I could grab it with the tweezer maybe. And help it actually come out. Then rip. Come on, baby, you can do it. I got it. Oh, that looks perfect. You see it shining in there? All those little shiny spots. That's what we're looking for. I still have quite a bit of silicone spots on there. And those are on the pieces. It looks like where it broke when I hit it with the sledge. So a little more cleanup. But when I mold these, you know, they're going to be like this. And some of the crystals I see are in the silicone. Look at that. Can you see that? One of the baby points came off in there. Precious little points. So like I said, when I do my resin mold, it's going to probably pull out anything that's stuck in there, and then the mold will be clean. So that's number 4. So I don't think number 1 is going to look as good as the last 3. Live and learn. So here's the other piece of the geode. Let's see what we could do with this guy here. Trying to find the starting point where it's not sticking. Oh my. I remember going over this one with the second coat, going down deeper. Let's see if I could get under that. Salvage that a little instead of ripping it. Oh yeah, baby, come on, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You're doing good. This This was a beauty. This was a beauty. I'm going to come around this way and see if I can get it to keep coming off nice. See where it wants to start tearing. Some more crystals came off where it broke apart from the sledgehammer. So far, so good. This is where I was wiping the silicone off my stick onto the sanded area. Oh yeah. Come on now. Very fragile here. It's very thin right here. Beautiful. Beautiful. Just the very edges. So this is where the sand is. Just going to trim that. It's not where it's very good looking. So again, this is going to be, sitting like this when I mold it. So I'll get all this and this here. So that's pretty cool. Got some silicone stuck to it on the sides. And I don't know if I, try remolding this again. When I do that, if it'll pull those silicone pieces off, or I don't know. I know I got a lot of cleaning to do, but it's really cool. All right, let's see what else we got over here. These two. Oh, those are clusters. This is my big amethyst points. The other amethyst came off beautiful. This one looks like it's not going to give me a hard time. Let's just hope that that's what the story is here. So far, so good. So I'm going to pull it from this side because I'm pretty sure we're going to be okay. Oh, please don't stick. Some of the points are a little deep on this. Come on, baby. Sorry about that. So, it looks like I have to pull it up all around the edges. Try to go around it to see if that's going to help the situation here. Yeah, that seems to be helping. Instead of just trying to go one way, start pulling it off this way and that. Some of these are kind of deep. So the only thing I can say is obviously spraying it with some type of mold release would avoid this from happening. I didn't know what to do because my kitchen was so cold. My coconut oil was, as soon as it hit the surface of the rock, was turning white and hardening up, and it was covering the texture. Come on now. Some of the points have a little bit of texture on them. And so I see that's what's happening here. They're not all completely smooth. Where it's smooth, they're coming off. And once again, I've got blue on my beautiful clusters. And this is the 25. There's a harder mold making. It's number 30, Umu 30. That might avoid this stretching that's happening. I don't know enough to be able to say that's for sure. But I could see wherever there is texture on the tip of the crystal, that's where it's sticking. So we're getting some of it. I'm able to pull some of it out. Some little spots are sticking. Just trying to take my time. I'm glad I put the second and third coats on this, because if I didn't, it might be just totally ripping. Come on now. Because all of this is going to show when I do it with resin. And I just didn't want to cut it because I don't want to lose the shape of the crystal. But it is down in between some of those crystals. It does not want to come off. So some of them are ripped. Some of them are okay. So it really remains to be seen when we do the resin, how it's going to come out. I have to set this down for a minute. Sorry about that. It's a nice side of that crystal point there. I'm trying to save that. can give it a flat surface with the razor knife instead of tearing it. Trying to follow along the shape of the crystal. I think it's 50-50 on this one. We'll know more once we pour some resin into this. Just where it levels itself out. That's all that I need, because I need it to be flat across for what I'm going to be doing. So I don't need these little shaggy ends. I just need it to look like that. So first pour is going to pull out all the impurities that are in there. A little more work again. Oh, you gotta freeze up now. All right, so if this is gonna freeze, I usually can't get them to unfreeze. I'm gonna turn this one off and come back and do a part 3. Okay?